the full moon in Sagittarius, the truth beneath the story. An invitation to become the seer in your own life as inherited beliefs, survival identities, and unconscious stories rise into awareness, allowing you to see yourself and your life more clearly. The second full moon of May arrives in Sagittarius, asking us to widen the lens after the deep emotional descent of the Scorpio Full Moon at the beginning of the month. This is a moon of meaning, belief, truth, and soul-level honesty, revealing not only what we think, but the hidden architecture shaping why we think it. Beneath the noise, something deeper is asking to be remembered. The first full moon of May pulled us downward, into the underworld, into the places beneath performance, beneath control, beneath the carefully managed version of ourselves that survival identity often creates. That Scorpio moon asked for emotional honesty. It exposed the unconscious patterns, inherited fears, and hidden attachments that quietly shape our lives from underneath the surface. But the Sagittarius full moon turns its gaze towards the horizon. After Scorpio's descent comes perspective. After emotional excavation comes meaning. Sagittarius is not interested in staying trapped inside the wound forever. It wants to understand what the experience revealed. It wants to see the larger pattern beneath the pattern. It searches for truth, not as performance, but as liberation. This moon arrives at a powerful threshold between truth and story. Opposite this moon, the sun sits in Gemini, illuminating the other side of the wheel. Sagittarius seeks wisdom, meaning, philosophy, and overarching truth. Gemini carries information, it questions assumptions and notices nuances, explores multiple perspectives. One reaches for the horizon, the other studies what is directly in front of it. Together, they ask, what do you believe in and why? Not every belief is truth. Some beliefs were never yours to begin with. Some beliefs are emotional architecture built in moments where survival became identity. Some beliefs are energetic inheritance passed through family systems, relationships, culture, or collective conditioning. And some beliefs are simply stories that were repeated so many times they began to feel like fact. This full moon reveals where unconscious identity has been quietly distorting the way you see yourself, your life, and your future. And that matters because there is a difference between shape-shifting unconsciously and evolving consciously. Sagittarius rules belief systems, worldview, philosophy, spiritual understanding, and the search for meaning itself. Under this moon, many people may feel the sudden urge to pull back and reassess the direction of their life entirely because something no longer fits the person they're becoming, or perhaps more truthfully, the person they're remembering themselves to be. Reinvention belongs to personality. Remembrance belongs to the soul. This moon carries the energy of sacred remembrance. It asks whether your current identity is genuinely aligned with your deeper truth, or whether parts of it were constructed to create emotional safety, approval, belonging, or protection. Sagittarius exposes distortion through expansion. It widens the frame until smaller truths can no longer hide inside narrow narratives. Sometimes liberation arrives quietly, and sometimes it arrives like a lightning strike. Sometimes the truth was always there, but you were not ready to see it without defending the false self that formed around it. And this is where Gemini Sun becomes important, because Gemini reminds us that truth is not rigid. It evolves through curiosity, conversation, reflection, and symbolic observation. Sagittarius can become dogmatic when it believes it has already found the answer. Gemini keeps consciousness flexible enough to continue learning. Sagittarius seeks wisdom. Gemini gathers information. Sagittarius looks towards meaning. Gemini notices the details hidden in plain sight. The balance point between them is living truth, and living truth asks for embodiment. It asks whether your words, choices, relationships, nervous system, behaviours and emotional patterns are actually aligned with what you claim to believe. Voice as soul authorship is not simply speaking louder, it is allowing your life to become more congruent with your deeper knowing. This full moon may illuminate where your external life has drifted away from your internal truth. It may reveal where you've outgrown old philosophies, old ambitions, old identities, or inherited expectations. It may expose where fear has kept you small beneath stories about practicality, timing, responsibility, visibility, self-worth, or emotional safety. Sagittarius is fire. It doesn't whisper forever. It burns through illusion until honesty becomes unavoidable. And honesty is not punishment, it is initiation. This is part of the descent and return that all genuine transformation requires. The return does not happen through endlessly becoming someone new. It happens through returning to the self beneath conditioning, beneath performance, beneath emotional strategies, beneath the karmic repetition that once felt impossible to escape. That's why symbolic systems matter. Astrology, human design, and tarot do not give us identities to hide inside. They're symbolic systems as mirrors. They reveal the hidden architecture already living beneath behaviour, emotion, and experience. They help illuminate the relationship between emotional truth and meaningful transformation, allowing us to recognise ourselves more clearly within them. The 3 mirrors of remembrance speak directly to this process. The body remembers, the soul reflects, the soul reveals. Or perhaps more simply, the body carries the imprint. The sky mirrors the timing, and the soul recognises the truth when it arrives. This Sagittarius full moon is an energetic initiation into becoming the seer in your own life. It asks whether your life still reflects who you truly are, or whether parts of you are still orbiting identities created for survival rather than alignment. It reveals where meaning has been lost beneath noise, performance, urgency, or inherited expectations. It reminds us that feminine awakening is about remembering who you were before survival taught you to fragment yourself in order to belong. Under this moon, truth expands to free you, because remembrance begins the moment illusion loses its power, and the return begins the moment you can no longer negotiate with what your soul already knows.